Hello everybody, it's Cartoon 12 or ToonGal 12 or KC, whatever you want to call me, back for a new reaction video. So, you guys may remember a reaction that I did a little while back for Electra Woman and Dyna Girl, and you remember how I was telling you about how the only reason I really discovered that series was because of this channel that I watch called the Batcave Podcast? Well, we're bringing them up again today because thanks to the podcast, I was able to discover another show. So for Happy Halloween, guys, today we're going to be taking a look at Monster Squad. Not the movie Monster Squad that you're probably used to. No, actually back in the 70s, there was a TV show called Monster Squad, and we're going to be checking out an episode of it today. So at least from what I was able to learn from the Batcave podcast is that a lot of the same producers and even some of the same actors from Batman 66 appeared on this show and starred in it. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of similarities between 60s Batman and this show. And on the podcast, they actually haven't gotten up to this episode yet. It was the one full episode that was available on YouTube, so that's what I'm going to be reacting to. But I was able to listen in on at least a few of the first couple episodes, and if you want a more like in-depth look and analysis on like every single actor that's been on this show and everything, then definitely check out the Batcave podcast. I'll put a link to their channel in the description of this video. They can go in a lot more in-depth on the production of this show and stuff more than I can here. But if there are some things I remember from their podcast, and I'll bring it up here. But without further ado, let's not beat around the bush anymore and let's just get started here. Alright, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Whoa. Alright, we already got a good opening here. I like the music so far.
My name's Walt. I work as night watchman here at Fred's Wax Museum to put myself through criminology college. It used to be very lonely until recently when I plugged in my crime computer. Suddenly, oscillating vibrations brought to light 3 legendary monsters. Dracula, the werewolf, and Frankenstein. Creatures hated and feared for centuries, now determined to make up for their past misbehaving by fighting crime wherever they find it. Together, we're the Monster Squad.
I bet you anything this is the most action we're ever going to see is just in this opening. Oh wait, that's it? Well, that ended abruptly. There wasn't even like a finisher or anything. It just ends.
Four spaces.
They playing Sorry or Monopoly?
2, 3, 4. Chance. Go directly to the dungeon.
Oh, it must be Monopoly then.
Walt, what's that you're eating? Soda crackers or firecrackers?
I'm eating a Dandy Andy cookie.
Dunk them in milk, please, first. They're splitting my head.
Well, good.
Man, look at the hair on Frankenstein. He's got like a beetle slash monkey's haircut.
Police call.
Now, if some of the same people who worked on Batman worked on this, I have to wonder if some of the parts from, if some of the same, like, props they used here, like, I wonder if that's some,
The cow from one small country.
I'll tell you later.
Giving milk, but the Arabs have placed an embargo on it.
How come they still get milk?
Maybe they got cloned. Cut it out, Bruce. No time for small jokes. they burst.
That means every cow in the world is a potential bomb.
Oh. Maybe
Look
the
at Dracula's
just on
face.
strike.
No. There has to be some utter reason.
Bruce?
Oh, come on, Bruce.
We'll find out who's stopping the world's milk supply. And when we do, we'll...
Well, what?
We'll reload!
Oh, brother. Oh, Adam's family house. Ultra Witch. Oh, definitely Batman. Hey, look who it is.
Stir.
It'll burn at the bottom.
You've got stir crazy.
Good old Julie
The only witch in
Newmar.
the whole world that still uses one of
See, I
these
told you
tools.
this was Batman.
Won't have to stir so much
They even
to
got
use
the
electric
villain's
rock.
lair and everything.
Well, now you dried up all the cows in the world. What's next?
And she's got her two henchmen that are named different things.
With a bad case of warts.
Well, I was a lot happier when I was a frog. Go ahead, old frog. We'll have frogs. We ain't eating French in weeks.
Anyway, I was starting to try to say earlier that Walt's crime computer is basically just the discount Bat computer. I have to wonder if it was made out of like the same parts and stuff. Like after they dismantled the Batman set, did they reuse some of their props and stuff for this show?
I want some dandy cookies and some milk.
Well, we don't have too much milk left. The Arabs raised the price again.
They better watch out, or I'll dry up their cow too.
So really, the police got nothing better to do, but like, this is what the police have been reduced to, trying to figure out where the whole milk supply in the world went.
Until they get my sweetheart whiz out of the barn with a nail and hammer, while my sweet...
So she's supposed to be a witch, but she looks more like, what's-her-face, Ursula.
My man, well, dig it. Brought you a little present. Chocolate chip cookies. Your favorite.
Oh, gee, thanks, Andy. That's very generous of you.
Oh, no, it isn't. Since the milk supply stopped, nobody's buying my cookies anyway.
That bad, huh?
Oh, man, Dandy Andy cookies without milk? That's like bacon without eggs.
He
like
reminds
Damon
me
without
of
bitches.
Kenan Thompson
They're
from
like
All That.
Sunny without cheer.
Nobody's buying your cookies?
There's one cat that comes in and buys a big bag full every day. I don't know what he does with them. You know, maybe he's some kind of cookie kook.
Or he may just be getting milk. Andy, I think you've
Or he
given us a
wants
clue to the
Cookie
entire
Crisp
milk shop.
cereal.
I'll inform the police.
Hey, best of luck. Because if you don't succeed, I'll be out of business in a week.
Alright, here's my question. Like, who exactly knows, like...
Work time, squad.
So this college kid is smart enough to make this crime computer, and somehow the crime computer, like, magically brings these 3 wax figures to life. Like, there's a whole discussion we have of this that I'll just save for the end, because I don't want to interrupt it here.
Okay, squad, listen up. There's a man still buying Dandy Andy cookies. Now, he must be getting milk, because without milk, they're lousy.
But they are delicious with blood. That was before I went on the wagon.
Find this man. We'll find the fiend.
Alright, Dracula's officially my favorite of the 3 here. I love his expressions.
Check. And I'll be trying to unearth further information from our trusty crime computer.
Let's go, squad.
Avante!
To the Batmobile. I mean the Monster Squad van. Like, how is this college kid able to afford to make this special van for them to drive in? And, like, he works at a wax museum, and yet, like, does nobody know that he has all this hidden stuff? And, like, where does the van come from? Boy, you gotta hire a security guard, dude. But you notice that when the van left, the door flipped up. It almost seemed more like that's more out of, like, the Green Hornet show than Batman.
Hello? Where are you?
So this guy just like, oh, here you go, sir. Like, not even questioning the outfit he's in.
Road, and I, of course, will take the high road.
Oh, jeez. He like sets all the trees and bushes on fire. Wow, what an effect.
Well, it just might be the world.
You know, already I can tell that, like, the production value on this show, like, isn't as good as Batman 66, but still, is it kind of sad, though, that this set here has way more, like, detail and stuff than like a third season episode of Batman, because at least they actually bothered to make an entire set rather than just have a black background and a couple table and chairs. So I gotta give it to them for that.
Who would not recognize Count Dracula?
I wouldn't. I have never seen myself. I've been told that, but I haven't been getting the proper nourishment lately. The real reason I came was I was hoping that you could possibly put a spell on me, so that I might
put a
see
spell
myself
on you.
in a mirror.
Gotta give it to Julie Newmar for, you know, putting her all into this. She definitely can, you can tell she's having fun.
Who's the handsomest of all? Dracula. See? Mirror, mirror on the wall, help the
Magic mirror made of wood. Please tell me that I look good. Although technically that's a freestanding mirror, it's technically not on the wall.
No?
Well, you gotta start small. Tell you what.
Too
if you
bad,
practice
Drac.
with this, I'll mix you a nice glass of plasma. Listen, can you show me your driver's license? I could get in trouble if you're under 18.
Oh, Countess, you kill me. I'm over 638 years old. But who's counting?
He looks pretty good for his age.
A la vodka?
That's how they all fall. Bottoms.
This is why you don't take drinks from Catwoman. Or Ultra Witch, but whatever.
Dracula should be out by now.
We better go in.
Oh. Walt said to check with him first if anything went wrong.
Walt here, come in.
We think Dracula is in the hands of Ultra Witch.
How long's he been gone?
Over an hour.
He could be dead.
You better get in there right away. But Bruce, be careful. That witch has more tricks than a broomstick has straws.
Don't worry, Walt. I'll hit him high and Frank will hit him low.
Roger, over and out.
I really do like this whole castle set, like the not quite Batcave. Like, at least they put a lot of detail into that.
Is my ray gun charged?
No, we paid cash for it.
Another crack like that and you'll be making your own dinner. By catching flies with your tongue.
You're not really going to use the Ronald Ray gun, are you?
Of course.
Ronald Ray gun. Ha ha.
Too horrible. You greedy heart liberals.
Anybody home?
That's what you think.
Census taker.
That fool. Nobody can get through that door. It's guaranteed against any force.
Wanna bet? That door is made from 20 sheets of cardboard.
Your guarantee has just expired.
Whoa! Bruce is really taking one for the team. Like, everyone else is just, like, casually sneaking in, and he just
I'm entitled to
breaks through the window.
Only one. And make it short.
Thank you.
Bruce is, like, the most violent of these three. Uh-oh.
Potions and
Run!
lotions won't keep me down. You must try the steak the next time around.
Do you not see the ray gun in front of you? There you go.
Well, my friends, how do you like the Ronald Ray gun? It takes the third dimension from creatures and makes them two-dimensional.
All right.
Drains them of
I
all
forget
their
what
color.
episode it is exactly. I know it's in the 3rd season of Batman 66, but there's an episode where they're just straight up copying that. There's an episode, it's with Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, but they get turned... It's exactly like this. They get hit with this thing, and they get turned into, like, cardboard cutouts, and then... I forget what they did. There was something they did where they were able to, like, turn back to normal, but they're just directly ripping off of that episode. If I can figure out which one it is, I'll put the name of it up.
Check those out.
It's Dracula. And Bruce. And Frank.
There was 26 cents due on Frank. I laid it out.
Gee, Andy, I don't think I have 26 cents.
You get
Oh,
25?
come on, dude.
Wait a minute.
Just let him take them. See, this is what I'm confused on, is that earlier, when our Kenan Thompson dude here came to the wax museum,
They just can't
like, the
move.
monsters were there frozen, pretending that, you know, that they were the wax figures or whatever, so they're clearly keeping a secret. But now here in this scene, he's clearly, like, he's acting like he knows that these monsters are real. So, is it a secret? Is the whole Monster Squad thing a secret or not?
Hey, Andy, wait a minute. Dracula is sending us a message.
With his pulse?
It's Morse code.
That's ridiculous.
Don't tell me that's ridiculous. I learned Morse code in the Boy Scouts. Okay, speak to me, Dracula.
But how?
Well, like all vampires, Dracula has the ability to stop and start his heart. That's what he's doing now.
Okay, I'll
Ultra-Witch
buy it.
Has Ronald Ray gun cleverly disguised as a telephone must reverse.
Incredible.
Okay, you can give me the rest of the message as I go, Drac. I gotta cut out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but that whole thing, that straight up, like, that is something Batman would do. Like, if I just control my pulse, I'll be able to send out a secret message.
My plan is working beautifully. All the sodas have turned to castor oil. Here, 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 and there.
You're evil, Ultra.
Thank you. That's my favorite compliment.
I bet you anything that's the rare art map from the Joker Zodiac Crimes episode.
Stunner.
Good evening, miss.
Candygram.
But you can call me Ultra.
Oh, thank you. Say, I'm working my way through college, selling magazines. We have a nice special on Fiend and Scream.
You're gonna have to sell a lot of magazines to put yourself through
We also
college.
have, Better Moats and
Especially for
Capsules
how expensive
and the Bleeder's
college
Digest.
is now.
Reader's Digest. How much?
Well, I could let you have 3 years for the price of one.
You know, you don't look like a college boy.
Of course I am. Ask me anything.
Of course I am. I'm 32.
I think I'll call Andy.
My toil has a chicken soup.
You two! Elevate him! Okay, now get out there and bring my squad in here. Move it! Okay, up against the wall. Okay, get out. Reverse. Check.
I thought there was someone back there behind there first, but then I realized it's just their shadows.
Gun horn, son of a gun, come to mama on the run. It's your turn to put up your hands.
Uh-oh.
I'll flatten every living thing in this state until they release my boyfriend. What happened to my batteries?
Oh, I've been using them in my flashlight.
Well, sweep out those piles
brother.
of garbage with our magic brooms while I recharge the ray gun.
A bat fight time. And in case of Dracula, it really is a real bat fight. You also notice that window that... Drac, you're my favorite. Did you also notice right there the window that the Wolfman busted through earlier is now magically fixed?
Say farewell to the third dimension.
Oh, snap. Gotcha there.
That was close. Thanks, Drac. It was nothing. Just what any incredibly courageous...
I love how they still got the price tag stuck on them. See, this is why Drac's the best. He saves the day.
I feel almost sorry for Ultra. She never should have used the Ronald Ray gun.
Yes. I would say it reflected rather badly on her. What are you going to do with
Wow,
her?
that's a big wax museum.
Well, Squad, I guess I'm just a sentimental old fool, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send her back to the Wiz.
It is too bad about Ultra. I was so hoping she could fix it so I could see myself in the mirror.
Oh, you
Get a
don't need
painting
mirror,
then,
Drac.
dude.
You're really very handsome.
You're not just saying.
Scout's
I'd say
honor.
he's a little
Well,
handsome.
you're almost as handsome as
You.
I am.
Yep.
What do you think, Bruce?
Man, Bruce is so tiny compared to the other two guys.
But then again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And my eyes have been very myopic lately.
I'll never know when they're kidding.
Wah, wah. Alright, cool. And we're done. Normally that's where I would kind of stop it, but I just wanted to hear the cool theme song again. I gotta give it to them there. They definitely got a really good theme song. But there you go, guys. That was the original Monster Squad. And I guess eventually in the 80s when they made the movie, that's primarily what inspired it. And they just, in the movie, they added 2 more monsters, like the Mummy and the Creature from the Black Lagoon, which probably would have been neat if they did have them here in the show too, but I guess for budget reasons they could only get 3 of them in there. But yeah, so like I was kind of saying throughout, a lot of the same people who worked on Batman 66 made this show, and you can definitely tell a lot of the influences, like the Batcave, like Secret Lair, the crime computer, the whole, like, they have their own, well, instead of a Batmobile, they have their own van or car that they drive around. They have, like, but you have to wonder, you know, this kid's putting himself through college, and yet he's able to afford a special van and everything, and where is he hiding all of this? Like, the crime computer I get, but, like, where does the van come from? Is there any other people who work in this place that, like, it says he's the night watchman, but I don't know, it just seems like, I really hate to say that this show was a little bit more sloppily done in terms of the story, like the plots and stuff, because I did legitimately like this. I had a lot of fun watching this. But like, probably the biggest thing, and they mentioned this on the Batcave podcast too, it seems like the one really big problem here is that this show can't seem to decide, is the Monster Squad a secret or not? Because the first episode that they reacted to, they made it very clear, like, this is a secret thing. They don't know, like, the general public doesn't know these monsters are on the loose or anything. Like, this is a whole, like, secret operation. But then in the very next episode they reacted to, and then in this one, they suddenly make it clear, like the mayor is on TV talking about the, like, oh, thanks to the Monster Squad, we were able to beat the villain and blah, blah, blah. And now in this one, even within the same episode, his friend from the bakery comes, and the monsters are there, like, as their statues or whatever, and it makes it seem like the baker guy doesn't know that they're actually real, that they come to life at night. But then later on, when Walt comes into the bakery, they're talking about the monsters, so the baker guy, suddenly he does know that the monsters are real, so, like, what exactly is going on here? Like, I don't think, at least to my knowledge, I don't think they ever do, like, a full-on origin episode of, like, how he made the crime computer. Why is this computer somehow able to bring these wax figures to life? And, like the whole thing with the monsters once being villains, but now they're trying to make up for that and being heroes, that's a really cool idea. But, like, is this like a night at the museum kind of thing where they really are just wax statues that somehow, like the souls of these monsters that once used to be real now suddenly go into the statues or something? Like, because we clearly see them eating, so like, it somehow magically turns them real just for a little while, like actually living, breathing people, but then during the daytime they go back to being they suddenly go back to being statues again. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know this is just like a show for kids. I know that I'm probably looking way too much into this, but let's put it this way. Even on Batman 66, yes, there was a lot of stuff that they just kind of left up to the audience's interpretation or imagination. Like, they didn't explain every little thing, but they at least explained enough. There was enough that you could infer in the dialogue of, like, you know, how long they've been crime fighting, where they got their gadgets from and stuff. And of course, the thing with Batman is that even before the show came out, the comics had already been around for like 20-some years, so he was already an established character that had comics that you could fall back on if you wanted to learn more about his origin story and stuff. And even though Batman 66 never had a full-on dramatization of the origin story, they still hinted at it here and there. There was still, like, they gave you just enough information. It was definitely more tightly written than this show is. I mean, it still is a lot of fun. It's a great, like, it's definitely geared more for kids. Like, there were one or two, like, adult jokes in this, like, and by that I just mean, like, jokes that only an older person is gonna get or understand. Not necessarily dirty or anything, just a joke that only an adult will appreciate. But you can definitely tell this was definitely made for, like, mainly just kids, like little kids. Like, there was a lot in this that the script could have been tighter, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Like, there, especially since this is only a half-hour long too versus the hour-long Batman episodes. Especially, like, okay, like that part where one of the witch's henchmen comes to the bakery. He's not even attempting a disguise or anything at all. He doesn't show up as, like, a normal person. He just comes in right in his, like, supervillain outfit, and the baker's not questioning this at all. If they had been given more time, then they probably could have built that up a little more, or had a few extra scenes of them just trying to disguise himself more. I don't know. It almost seems like this was like, this could have been an hour-long Batman episode that they sliced in half and had to take out a bunch of, like, important information that we should probably know at least a little bit more about, of, like, how this whole setup works. Does the city know about the monsters or not? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The jokes are pretty funny. They're mainly more kid jokes, like turns of phrase jokes and stuff. But yeah, like, I still enjoyed this, though. It was still really fun. I think there are DVDs out there available of this show. I think it only had, like, one season. The production value is okay for the most part, like, you know, considering the time period and that it's for, like, kids and it's only a half hour. Like, I would still say that Batman 66, especially the first 2 seasons, is the more, like, better quality, tightly written show. But if you want to get something, like, you know, if you're marathoning Batman 66, you get to the end and then you're like, okay, where do I go from here, then this would definitely be a nice follow-up to it. It certainly is a fun show. Dracula is definitely my favorite of the 3. Like, I think his makeup job looks the best. I really like his expressions. It seems like, especially in the other episodes that Batcave Podcast reacted to that I listened in on, seems like Dracula seems to do a lot more of the legwork of the group. He seems to always be like the espionage guy who goes in pretending that he's gonna work with the villain, but he's just trying to get information on them. Again, if they had more time, if this were an hour-long episode, maybe they would have been able to flesh that out a bit more. But as it stands, for just being, you know, it is what it is. It's still it's cute. That's what it is. It's cute. It's a fun little show, and hopefully maybe if I can find some more episodes out there, then just on my own time, I'll see if I can watch a couple more episodes of this, because it is pretty fun, especially for being around Halloween and stuff. This is definitely a good series, a fun little series to check out. But there you go, guys. That was the original Monster Squad, and I guess if you ever liked the Monster Squad movie from the 80s, then I guess in a large part you have this show to thank for getting it started. But that's it, guys, and if you have anything else out there that you want me to react to, then leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and happy Halloween!